What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a Blueberry. Going to be trying to get the turbo kit done here. I believe it's like 9 o'clock now. I'll check my phone here in a second. I'll show you guys. Going to try to get the turbo kit done before 4 o'clock, not 4 o'clock, before 12 o'clock tonight. So we got 4 hours to see if we can knock this turbo kit out the park. Now all I have to do is just bolt the manifold back onto the head. I'll show you the progress on the wiring also. The car's a mess on the inside right now because I've been just doing a bunch of wiring stuff on it and I got shit everywhere, so I'm gonna address that issue also. And pretty much that's it. After I do the turbo kit, it'll let me know where I can place most of the stuff in the car, like the radiator, the catch can, and the fuel pressure regulator. So I'll mount all those stuff up tonight, and we'll see if we get the turbo kit done first. If I have enough energy. I took a 5-hour energy shot before I came up here. I've been up all goddamn day with my kids, so we're gonna see if we can get a lot of things done tonight. My main goal is to get as much of the turbo kit done as possible, which should be all of it. It's pretty cut and dry. I'm gonna do it exactly the same way that I did flow. Should be real simple, and yeah. All right, guys, so like I was saying before in the last clip, pretty much got the car all wired up. Here is coil pack harness, the injector harness. I just got to wire these two wires into this part of the injector because I ended up leaving this clip at the shop when I was using it to make sure these injectors that I got were good, because I got them used. I just bolted the turbo manifold back up. I still have a bunch of inputs and outputs over here that I need to figure out where they're going. I know I need one for the boost controller. I need an output for the boost controller, an input, and 2 inputs for the oil pressure, and actually, yeah, oil pressure, and I got 1 dome pressure sensor over there. How the hell do I have an extra sensor? Weird. Maybe I thought I needed another sensor for something. I don't know. Maybe I do. But anyway, I got the fuse panel pretty much started and about wired up. I have to add 2 more relays to it and put solid power to the fuse box. Don't mind the junk down here. Been wiring for like 2 days and trying to be a stay-at-home dad. So pretty much just here trying to get the turbo kit mocked up. Like I said before, I need to find a 3-inch to 2.5-inch coupler for the throttle body, and find some material to mount the intercooler to the frame. Speaking of the intercooler, I got the same core as the one that was on flow. It's a 3-inch core, 2.5-inch outlet. I got some new 2.5-inch intercooler piping, and this time they sent me black covers like I requested. It's got clamps, all of that, and I do have welding gas, so I thought I wasn't gonna have any. But like I said before, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna mount the core, and I'm probably just do it the same way like I did flow, but it'll be more tucked on this setup because I don't have a weight plate on it. So I do plan on getting traction bars and a weight plate for this car. So yeah, but anyway, this is pretty much how it's gonna be mounted. I'm more than likely gonna mount the radiator here because I have this one on a shelf that has some 16 AM bungs on it, so I can go ahead and order that billet water neck like what I had before, and I will just need to figure out, and I should have some hose here. I just got to cut this little flange off, not flange, but holder thingy, whatever it was for the old AC condenser, and then I pretty much just go from, I'll put the offset the intercooler some, and then put the intercooler pipe in like this. So it'll be same thing, 4 couplers. Y'all know I hate couplers, so I'm gonna put the least amount of couplers on this car as possible. So let me go ahead and start coming up with a strategy on how I want to do this, and then I'll start recording some more. All right, so cooler's all mounted up, and it's pretty much centered on the radiator support, so should look good behind the bumper. I'm probably gonna leave some of the grill inside the bumper so that, you know, it's not a cooler just sticking out of it, even though the exhaust is coming out the hood yet again. So I already had this piece from Turbo Saab that I was doing earlier this week, and it pretty much comes out to where I needed to go to. So what I'm going to do is just 90 off of that, but this is for later on. Anyway, what I'm going to do is cut this part of the cooler off. I'm going to put a 90 on it because the coupler will be in pretty much this spot right here. So it's gonna cut this back, gonna put a 90 straight off of it, and pretty much just gonna 90 it from here to the throttle body, and then down here a 90 coupler will work on it. I have it really kind of mocked it up. Gonna put that on there, and then I'm gonna run the coupler into, well, not a coupler, I'm gonna 45 well, I'm gonna cut one of these 45 pieces in here and put it on here. And well, I'll probably cut it off something right here, and then put the 45 in there, and that'll be the hot side. Then I'll just put the blow off valve on it and the bung for the intake air temp sensor, because I'm using a GM one. So I got this little piece right here from ICT, so 3/8 what was it, MPT pipe thread, yeah, MPT bung, 3/8 MPT bung, aluminum. Probably gonna do the intake air temp right here somewhere, and then put the blow off valve on the other side, and should be pretty much it. I might put the blow off valve on the hot side of the charge pipe. Sometimes it's loud as shit on that side, but most people are like, oh, you got to put it closer to the throttle body to prevent surge. I don't care, it's just gonna work either way. So let me get this lined up, because I only got one bolt in here, so pretty much that would be that. And yeah, that's pretty much do it for the cold side. So let me go ahead and get cracking on that. All right, so we got the intercooler piping all mocked up. The next thing that I'm going to do is just weld it all up, and while it's cooling off, I'm going to start working on the down pipe. So I'm probably going to have the pipe come out somewhere around here. Should be short, shouldn't really take me long. Hopefully I don't have to pie cut anything, because I hate fucking pie cutting stuff. So I know I'm going to have to cut this webbing out, and I'm going to need to measure from where this sits on here to about where I would want the exhaust to come out of. And what I'm gonna do is cut the hole, and then I'm gonna build the downpipe to the hole in the hood. right, guys, so turbo kit is complete. The only thing we got left now is just some oil lines, oil feed, oil return. I have to go to a hydraulic store and get the feed fittings that I need. What I'm planning on doing is remote mounting the oil feed and the sensor back here, because the way I had it set up on flow, I just had an oil pressure gauge coming out of here, and I can't remember where I had the oil feed coming off of. Also, I think I had it on a T, but there wasn't really any weight on, yeah, I had it on a T, but there really wasn't any weight on the back of it. So with this sensor that I plan on putting on here, it's pretty heavy. It's gonna have a pigtail on it that's gonna have wires, plus the T that's on it. And these cars produce like 90 psi oil pressure. You have 90 psi oil pressure plus vibration, plus the car bouncing up and down. It's gonna break off the back of the block. Now, I haven't had it personally happen to me, but I've seen it happen quite a few times. Kyle from Boosted Boys, his own backed all the way off of his car, and I believe Honda did the same thing too. So I'm trying not to have that happen to me, so I'm just gonna remote mount it. I've always remote mounted it on B series cars, and I haven't had an issue, so I'm gonna remote mount it on this car. Normally, if I was running a sandwich plate, I would run it off the sandwich plate on this car, but I'm not running a sandwich plate. But other than that, I just need to, I'm gonna take the car back to my house. I'm gonna finish wiring it up, like the injector, the oil feed, fuel, and the fuel pressure. Oh, actually, fuel pressure sensor is already here. I need to mount the fuel pressure regulator. I need to order some 16AN, 116AN fitting, and I need to order another K motor lower billet bracket. I figured out what I did on the last one that I was wrong about, so I know not to do it on this time so it won't leak. I also need to order a steel weld-on bung for the oil pan so I can weld a return on it. I have a return flange coming, and I also need to get a feed for well, a feed fitting for the turbo. I'm gonna try to start it without it feeding the turbo, just to crank it up, see if it'll run, work out the bugs, because I still don't have the VTC wired up on this side. Well, I just have the pigtail on it, but I don't know if this is a 12-volt sensor or if it's fed by a negative signal, because it is a PWM sensor. So I don't know if the ECU feeds it negative signal or if it feeds it power. So just got to figure that out. I'll make a post on the Fuel Tech board and see about that. I also need to get my alternator converted to a self-exciting alternator. There's a person locally that does it, and I need to get a slave cylinder. I need to do the auto to manual conversion, which I already have the pedals in the car. I just need to take this plug out the firewall and mount the pedals themselves in the car. But I have this trim ring right here that I'm going to use on the hood, and I have to cut the hood back some more because the way the exhaust comes out. But like I said before, I cut the hole first and then I put the exhaust through the hole. And obviously when you weld stainless steel, it shrinks, but I already knew that was going to happen. I cut a 3 1/4 inch hole, and this trim ring is a 4-inch hole. So what I'm going to do is just trim it out some more so that it fits in the trim ring, and that should be good. Now I'm trying to figure out if I want to recirculate the dump tube or if I want to put it down. I put it down on flow, it was fine, but I kind of want to do something different. I heard that if you recirculate it, that it will help with boost creep, because basically the exhaust will pull a vacuum in the wastegate, and it'll help to pull all the exhaust pressure that's in the manifold out. So I may try that. Just haven't really had any real world data on it myself, so that's pretty much about it. Going to order some push lock line and fittings, because I hate vacuum lines. So I'm gonna do this car all push lock. I'm gonna put the suspension on the car probably sometime later on this week. I need to put the fuel pump in the car. I need to mount the regulator like I said before. I have it over here in this box, just a regular Chinese eBay joint, same one I run on all the setups. I use a little $39 regulator. There it is, fuel pressure gauge, regulator. A little $40 joint, it works. I never had any issues with it. But yeah, that's what's up, going straight. All right, so that's gonna wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoy it. I did set up the camera to do a time lapse of me welding the aluminum like an idiot, and then turn the camera on. So, but I did turn it on for when I did the stainless. I normally try to give you guys a lot of action when I'm working on the cars, but I think it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning right now, and I gotta put the car back on the trailer, head back to the house, and give me like a couple hours of sleep and get back to working on this thing. Tomorrow Sunday, I'm edit this video and upload it on Monday. And as always, comment, like, share, subscribe, and see you guys in the next upload.